Hey there, brother.
Hey, Ed.
Something that I know is really important to you is about the topic of forgiveness. And I know you don't have a lot of energy right now, so we'll just see how you feel if you're okay to continue, and we'll just let it flow.
Okay.
So the first thing I wanted to share is that we both know that sometimes people hold on to unforgiveness like a dog holding on to a nice juicy bone, and the dog doesn't want to let the bone go. And
Absolutely.
so we hold on to unforgiveness as if it's something that's serving us, or that they don't deserve our forgiveness, so there's no need for me to forgive them. And we hold on to it quite intensely. And you've shared, and I agree with you, about how forgiveness is such a blessing. What would you like to share about how forgiveness is a blessing?
Yeah, thank you, brother. I guess in the simplest way, it's like what unforgiveness is to me, it's a burden, and it's an unconscious burden because there's something in our human makeup, however we came to be who we are in all our complexity, that apparently many of us from some experiences that we've had where there was pain or hurt or something really horrible happened, something inside of us drew the conclusion that whatever it was and whoever was involved with what happened had to be unforgivable. So that we were kind of locked into this decision on a, I'd say, unconscious level that this thing will never be forgivable. And so we just go through life without realizing, at least from my perspective, and probably others have felt this way, that to not be able to forgive is like carrying a big heavy weight around that holds us down in a way that is not satisfying or enlivening or anything that we would consciously choose. So it's really kind of like that. So it's almost like there has to be perhaps a bit of an aha moment where something inside of us wakes up and is able to understand that whole complicated area of forgiveness and unforgiveness in a really different way, so that they can feel the 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 possibility of how freeing, how beautiful, how sweet, enlightening it would be able to forgive whatever it was that we concluded was unforgivable.
And that includes even when we feel betrayed or violated or annoyed by another. Anything else you'd like to share about that,
Well,
Sam?
it does. I mean, really, it includes any and everything that fits into that description of forgiveness, unforgiveness. So, it's the one of the most kind things we can do is to gently support each other if we find that we're involved with someone who may be stuck in unforgiveness, without trying to tell them what they should do or how to do it. Just kind of let the creative impulse bring up something lighthearted that might speak to the beauty of what unforgiveness might offer to any of us, so that people don't feel like we're judging them or trying to set an agenda for them of what they should or must do to satisfy our idea of what's going to be good for us. So just more gentle support, so that whenever somebody's a little closer, they can, because the forgiveness process is a process. It may, for some people, be automatic and complete from the finger snap, but for most of us, it is a process of letting go to the part of us that chose unforgiveness. And so we got to be kind and gentle, just like I was sharing earlier. Gentleness really helps.
One of the things that we often talk about, brother, is how doing forgiveness alone can be a real challenge when you think it's up to you to be the source of the forgiveness, compared to when we allow our heart's connection to the true source of unconditional love, our higher power, to support us in allowing that unconditional love of our higher power to help us in our deepest levels of pain and hurt,
Right.
abandonment, rejection, etc.
Yeah, I think you said it just there. Don't have much more to say other than, I think that, often in this world, we get messages, and in our culture, at least, one of the messages is that we're supposed to do everything that needs to be done by ourselves. And that's what makes us a quote unquote man or quote unquote woman, who's a real winner in this world. In my personal experience, there are just too many things that I'm way too incapable to do by myself. And one of them is forgive. So that I've been learning that I need to rely on the love of the Creator to support me to be able to forgive, and that I'm not really the one who's doing the heavy lifting. I'm just, allowing that support to do most of the work that I can then benefit from. So it's such a paradox, because we feel, both, first of all, we can't forgive because it's unforgivable, and then when we get to a place where we might begin to want to forgive, we feel like it's impossible because we don't know where to start or how to do it. And so by simply being willing to get that support, it can also come from friends and others too. But to me, the what you were calling the source of unconditional love is definitely the place where strength comes from for everything that we need. So whatever the situation is, it's always good to ask to get the support we need from the Creator, from God, from the source of unconditional love.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, brother.
Something else I know you feel strongly about is about the realization that we are imperfect beings, that the journey is not just about trying to become a perfected being. The journey is about love. And that's also related to forgiveness. What would you like to share about our life not simply being some journey to become perfect?
Right. Well, if I was being a little bit heavy-handed or harsh, I would say that's a fool's errand. But I don't think any of us are truly fools, although I know I've been foolish in my life plenty of times. But I'd say it's really an impossibility, basically. Um, to me, from my best understanding, and I'm not saying that I have the answer, that this is the answer for everybody, but to me, it's truly um, impossible for any human being to truly be perfect, because in my cosmology, at least, the only being in existence that is perfect is the Creator. And so the rest of us get to rely on that Creator to do the best we can and to hopefully do better and better on the things that are important in life, and to not get bogged down in some impossibility that creates more pain, agony, and lack of self-respect and acceptance than having to prove somehow that we're perfect. It's kind of sad to even think about it.
So if the journey is not about becoming a perfected being, then the journey, from my perspective, is about relationship with true source, the divine, our higher power. What would you like to share about our journey being about a relationship versus self mastery?
Yeah. And again, that one kind of hits on the illusion that we're all alone, we're all separate, and it's up to us to do everything. Certainly, we have responsibilities. I don't want to get into the complexity of every little thing of life, but, you know, we are here. We have things that, depending on our role in life, we have responsibilities for. And hopefully, we do the best thing that we can around that. Um, but this overwhelming burden of responsibility for perfection or any of those things, just adds to the displeasure with one's life rather than the joy and the appreciation and the acceptance of, the blessings that we've all received, regardless of our condition.